last week, no meeting because dentist appointment I didn't expect. Then, well, I got the notification the day before. Then Thursday, no meeting because traveling. So I'm in France now. Now, oh, it was this is the 14th. So today, 6/28. Topics, status, demos. Does anyone have demos? Then status. So what happened on Orchard 1? I've seen some merges since the 14th here. So the 16th, check valid taxonomy. USB PR we reviewed, ensuring that the ID is non-zero just to prevent some useless queries. Apparently there are some get terms with ID 0 randomly, but they are expected, and this would still do a query. So in this case, it says no, don't do any query, it won't return anything. So optimizations. This one moves ShapeTracing just includes at head. Some JavaScript will conflict with ShapeTracing, so now it's moved at head. I'm worried, but they use it a lot, so we'll trust them. Worried. Not sure it's necessary. I don't think it will break anything, but that's surprising that it's necessary at head. So that's the two changes. No, this one. Fixed search function when searching inside the recent folder. The bug was explained. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, JavaScript issue that some path was not initialized, and then when you will look at the root folder, it will not search everything correctly. So now that is fixed in JavaScript. And this one, a RecipeManager to affect execution timeout. Some recipes are too slow, too long, and then the thing crashes and there is no, and then it's broken. So they say they found a way to make it configurable and increased by default the timeout for recipe execution. That solved their issue. It's not the final solution though. It should be like a synchronous call, and then the server should say, I'm still doing it, I'm still doing it, I'm still doing it, and the client should still ping it to say, are you done, are you done, are you done, and also to keep it alive. And then eventually it finishes. But there should be some communication between the client and the server so it doesn't time out. But right now, that's how it's done. Then you see all these PRs for Newtonsoft JSON 1301. The reason is that the package was marked with a security fix. The security fix is just that now there is a different depth in terms of JSON parsing, and like 64 something instead of I don't know what. And that changes in terms of security the limits of the parser. So James Newton King tagged the package with security fix. And because of that, Dependabot, which is a bot that updates dependencies, updated all the things on the internet, all the GitHub repositories with PRs to update from 12 whatever to 1301 because it has a security fix. And everywhere in Orchard 1, we have a reference to this package. It's updating it. So I don't know, yeah, if it works, we can update it. Or just close the PRs because it's not really a security concern in this case for us.
So what was the issue? Was it parsing depth in JSON or something?
The further you go in the parsing, the more memory you can take, right? Like you can parse lots of big documents. And there is a default limit in terms of depth of the JSON document you can parse with SeoM.NET. At which point, if you reach the limit, like if you have a property containing a property, containing a property, containing a property, if you reach the depth of 64, you will get an exception. This value of 64, what's changed to 64? I don't know from which value, but the idea is that it's a lower limit such that you can't parse huge documents. It will block you from parsing huge, deep documents before it takes too much memory.
Okay.
So
what
that's why
was
it's tagged at security fix, because that's limiting the size of a document you can parse in some way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look up in JSON. What was their solution? Now, was it to increase the depth or add configuration for it?
I assume they decrease the default, but you still can change the configuration. But they must have decreased the default. Let's see.
Okay.
If it was a security fix, then it should be by decreasing the default. The fix, I mean, it's a security change. I would say it's a fix. They say they decided to change the default of what's the limit to accept.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Ooh, when you type JSON.NET, you don't get JSON.NET anymore. Interesting. I don't see that listed here, and the change was made in March 22, but I assume on NuGet it's marked as security something now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the. I mean, it sounds more like maybe a perf issue than a security issue.
Yeah, but perf / DDoSing, like it's technically could be a security, like security in terms of you can take a server down if you send a specifically crafted JSON document that uses some internal behavior of JSON.NET. That's the idea.
Yeah, if they're standing on JSON and all, sure.
Like a zip bomb, like you send a zip document that is like 1 byte, or sorry, 1K, but when uncompressed will take like 10 gigabytes. So if you uncompress a zip in memory, then by just sending 1K as a zip, it will uncompress 10 gigabytes of memory. So, and then your server will be out of memory and then it will restart. Okay, so that's a way to DDoS a server. That's this kind of things that they prevent with that. Yeah, I don't know what's the change here exactly. But yeah, that was I talked to James and I saw that, and then he explained also the reasons too. So that's it. So yeah, so about the changes, yeah, if we are okay to update that to 13.01, we can do that. That's totally fine. We do that sometimes. We upgrade to the latest versions of JSON.NET. You see 12.03, we bumped from the 11 whatever at some point. So if it works, it works. It's totally fine with that. And I assume we should have also the same ones in Orchard Core somewhere. Orchard Core. So I don't see it though. Interesting. Oh, maybe because we use a weird version file and it didn't detect it. 14th. We saw that material update 606 update from .NET, NPM packages, MailKit. Descriptions to content types was merged. So yeah, for Michael, the idea is that the same way you have descriptions for content parts, now you can have description for content types in the content definition screen. Yeah, that's the file here. Description. That updated S3 options because there is a specific package that does that now. So this PR updates to the specific package, and as requested, they created a 150 release note file such that we already document the breaking change for the next version, the breaking change being in the configuration format for this feature, and also how to update it. That's great. That's weird that it fits on one line, but yeah, WordWrap will do its thing, and you see that's a new package that it's using now. So instead of doing its own configuration section, it's choosing the configuration section from the specific package, which is much better documented and can be reused across projects. So the change is here. And looks like it was actually copied from that, but now it's from a specific package. So that's better. Oh, okay, there is no documentation for the section, it was just for this line. Okay. What is that? Okay, the new package. Good. Running gulp. Oh, it was not up to date, but I don't see any change. So what's the difference? Adding context to the returned edit. Okay. What does it change in this case? Maybe it does something, but I don't know what. Let's see.
When there's a validation, error, it was not displaying
okay.
the SeoMetapart.
So I want to see the 11.839, 893 to understand the gulp changes. Why don't we see anything? Yeah, there are some differences. Why doesn't this one show it? Oh, changes are too large. I didn't see that. Ah, crap. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, something we could do is have it as part of the build pipeline such that GitHub will fail seeing that it's different than the one that was built online. And it will say like, oh, you thought you maybe missed to run the gulp pipeline the same way, ideally in the build pipeline, which will check for the checksum of every resource to be sure that we don't make any mistake. I will find an issue in case someone wants to work on that. Do we have an issue for the checksum? No, I don't think so. this one, and the issue which is run good. What's the good. So that, and that's it. And the last one, adding context to root. Oh, we saw that just for error messages. Okay, good. What else? No demos, no topics, questions, comments.
Question about commerce. I'm not sure that these meetings are the right scope to bring that up, or is there a separate meeting for commerce? Or
I don't think there is, but Lombiq is responsible for that now. You can try from what we know. Maybe we know the answer to your questions, but we don't know much.
Well, I know it's maybe as much as you do then. I'm mainly just looking for the context, I guess, in which to.
Have you seen the recording meeting from the handover from Bertrand to Lombiq? They published the meeting.
Yes, I did, and followed the GitHub issue and the questionnaire closely after that. So.
Okay.
As much as I know.
So. Yeah, maybe you can ping someone from the team to join this meeting next time if you have questions.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to pursue that more aggressively, but I don't want to take away from this meeting either. So.
Well, you can, just see with the repository, and if there is no traction, just try to trap someone in this meeting and ask the questions.
Okay. All right.
Good. Other questions, topics, demos? Okay, good. Then that is done. I will be there on Thursday, I think, no problem, if I don't forget. So let's do it on Thursday. I'm on vacation, but it's fine. I am able, when I'm not busy, to join the meeting. So next one is Thursday and next Tuesday. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.